Dr. Z, on today's edition of the Thrive Time Show, we are interviewing a great thriver from the great state of Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Who says...
I'm fine, thank you.
He says there's an unbelievable momentum gaining to the Trump train in Hawaii. He claims, now we're not there, so we don't know. He claims there are Trump flags everywhere. There are Trump boats everywhere, and he said you just can't find any Biden support in Hawaii.
1984 was the last time they went red for president.
That is a long time ago.
It's a long time
since
ago.
1984, the state has always voted Democrat. And this guy's going to hop on today's show. Howard's going to hop on the show, and he's going to share with you why he believes, based upon data and feedback he's seen right there on the Big Island, that Hawaii is going to board the Trump train.
Is he giving us any surf lessons?
He might teach us surf lessons on an audio-only show. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. We started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the bottom, now we hit.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we hit. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you.
Yes, yes. Dr. Z, it is always ecstasy when you are next to me. But on today's show, we are going to another level.
Let's do it.
We are contacting a thriver who runs the Hawaii for Trump Instagram page. Howard, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Trump landslide, baby.
Now let
2020.
me ask you this: you are in Hawaii, and
What island are you on?
The main island, Oahu.
Oh yeah, wow, that's awesome.
Okay,
oh,
so
yeah.
we want to get.
We're about to turn this thing. We might be able to make history. I think we're gonna turn this thing red, bro.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some tough questions here, but with the
Yes.
backdrop of Hawaiian music. That's kind of how we're going to do it here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And they're all based on coconuts.
okay, here we go. I'm going to ask you tough questions.
Tough questions.
In all sincerity, because this is a tough subject. How locked down have you been in Hawaii?
These guys that running this state right now, which was all Democrats, of course, they open up businesses, they close them. They open up businesses, they close them. They open up the airports, they shut it down, but they let tourists come in. It makes no dang sense. It's kind of like the governor in California. Just no common sense at all, bro.
Yeah, none.
And I can kind of already tell that they've been given the memo maybe months ago. Just let this place fall apart. A lot of people lost their businesses here in Hawaii. Many
Heartbreaking.
people unable to pay their rent and mortgages. And I mean, Hawaii, we always find a way because we live off the land. You know what I mean? But hey, these guys is doing some major damage. But from what I kind of figured out from researching and listening and using common sense strategies, this guy that we got as our governor right now, it hit me a few weeks ago, and I was telling people, I said, how does a guy who we've never heard of before become a governor? He has no leadership skills, no communication skills. He's not a visionary. Has no skills at all in unifying the people, and he doesn't care about the less fortunate, man, at all. And it makes no sense because they keep on using the word aloha. Aloha, it comes from my people. That's an Hawaiian word. It has a lot of meanings, but most of all, it's having love for each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy right here, it just feels like he's raping it sideways. Him, his lieutenant governor, and the mayor. And then now they got another guy trying to be the mayor, and he's crooked as hell too. So I was like, man, once the president win this election, I hope and pray that the Trump family comes to Hawaii so we can talk to him.
What does it feel like there in terms of the Trump support on the ground? And then Dr. Z has a question for you. What does it feel like? I mean, because everybody out there knows, I'm sure that people in Hawaii know, but please tell me people in Hawaii know that President Trump has been saying these governors need to open up their states. I mean, especially as the data has come out to show that the virus is simply less dangerous than the common flu, according to Dr. Scott Atlas, the doctor from Stanford who's recently joined the coronavirus task force. As more and more people are discovering everyone they know hasn't died. Talk to me about this. Can you feel the Trump energy in Hawaii?
Oh, of course, yeah. It went from, before the Republicans here, they were rhinos. They're rhinos. They just let the Democrats do as they please. I understand the thought. I understand the part that they were in the minority for so many long decades and stuff. But man, the thing is, like, it's in their blood. So what we had to do was create Koa, which means in Hawaiian warrior, but it also stands for Knights of Aloha, which is the biggest caravan movement here in Hawaii. And I'm so proud of these guys. This is amazing. These guys is taking this place, like, the thing turning into fire, like wildfire in Hawaii. But everybody's paying attention. Biden supporters here, and you think we were in a Democrat state, right? We barely even see Biden signs or anything to do with them. So I know that we're making some sort of impact here. And for me, concerning the COVID, I believe the president from the very first day. From the very first day, I believed him that he was giving us the right information, that he was into hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, Z-Pack, all of those things. I told myself, who I'm going to believe? These people who are always bashing him and bashing him and bashing him, or am I going to believe him as an American, as a patriot, born in New York, fighting for his country? And you look back at all Donald Trump's videos from the early 80s, 90s, 2000s. This guy has always loved America. And I cannot comprehend that half of our country got stupid, that they don't even know that this guy has loved America since he was a child. You know what I mean?
Amen.
I think a lot of us too is we realize too that when people are constantly bashing one person, and that person is only doing their very, very best, something's wrong. And luckily, us, we have that inquiring mind, right? We figured it out. These guys right here the media here too is just as bad as in the mainland, but we've been shutting them down. We told them we don't need you guys' news stations, because you guys don't want to show it. That's all good. We use social media, and boom, the things start blowing up in Hawaii. People are catching on, and here in my island, which is the main island, the whole island, whether you like Trump or not, you have no choice but to respect the guy.
Well, I want to ask you this because I want Howard, I want to believe that it's going to be a landslide. We want to believe it's a landslide. It's encouraging to hear that you're telling us that you see Trump flags and shirts everywhere and you don't see a lot of Biden support. Z, what question would you have for Howard? I mean, this guy's on the ground. He's working overtime. He's putting in hours and hours and hours on his Instagram, which, by the way, is Patriot_808 on Instagram right there. Z, what question do you have for Howard, the great American patriot from Hawaii?
Howard, I love shout out from Hawaii. And I tell you what, the groundswell, I've always wanted to know these blue states and guys that are waking up. I feel like there's this great awakening across our country.
Amen.
As people are finally, their rights are being shut down, their business are being shut down, their lives are being shut down, their economies are being shut down by people that are not being shut down. I mean, I don't know any government workers that have not received their checks. I don't know anybody that on that side of the aisle that hasn't gotten their paychecks, right? And so I guess my point is there a bigger groundswell, not just for Trump, but on the local level? I mean, I feel like here in Tulsa, we've really taken, we've popped the hood, and we're really looking at even down to our city council people. We're looking, we're giving our mayor another hard look. We're really looking down to the minutia of things, attorney generals and whatnot, and kind of figuring out, oh my gosh, we have been asleep for 20 plus years. and all these people have just crept into it, and now they're controlling our lives in a way that, quite frankly, doesn't feel good, isn't right. And is there a groundswell there in Hawaii for people to push back on the local level, on the state level? I mean, I know the national level, Trump, I mean, you see signs everywhere and people are rally, but are people focusing also on the state side?
Yes. I think this year is going to have the most Republican, pro-gun, pro-God, pro-life, pro-Trump,
Amen.
pro-business, pro-school. I think this year is going to be historic for the new Republican Party, not this old guys. This old group that they had before. I like to call them the new Trump Republicans over here. That's what I always tell everybody.
Yep.
When people ask us, "Oh, yeah, but the Republicans this and I said, no, that's the old Republicans.
Right.
That's the same people that our president got to deal with up there. These guys are from the same channel.
Right.
We're on a different level.
Well,
Right. I believe in the Trump family Republicans mindset. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me read this to you real quick here. The Republican Party, often called the GOP, or short for the Grand Old Party, is one of the two major political parties in the United States. I think most people know that. Founded in 1854 as a coalition opposing the extension of slavery into the Western territories. I don't think most people know that. The party, founded by Abraham Lincoln, I don't think most people know that. You live in Hawaii, where most people are not white. People of all different skin colors there. And it's exciting to me to see people of all different colors choosing to vote for Trump. But getting back to the roots and the history of the Abraham Lincoln Grand Old Party. I want to ask you, Howard, why are you a Republican?
Because I figured out by listening to Common Sense and the speeches of the president and from the Lord, speaking to us, that majority of us is conservative. In naturally, we believe in God when we grow up. Our parents told us that Jesus Christ is Lord. You know what I mean? We believe in family. We believe in freedom. And for anybody or any group to concoct a scheme to try to steal those three things right there from us, not just us in Hawaii, but the 50 states and the world, that is just so straight disrespectful and very, what would you say? Demonic. That's demonic right there.
Howard, what do you do?
Who in the world would do that? You know what I mean? With a sane mind, right?
Howard, I want to ask you this. What do you do for a living?
I go to school online, college here, because they shut down the colleges. I go to school and then I work renovation sometimes with my brother with his company.
Got it.
But honestly, I manage my money so good from college because I know it came from the president and our government. So I manage my money right, and I never spend it on foolish things. I manage them the best I can throughout all my semesters. I don't owe no debt. I have good credit. I'm an A student.
Howard, Howard, I want to ask you this.
To be honest with you, I actually spent like almost 3 decades in prison.
Wow.
And God changed my mindset.
How did that happen, Howard? How did God change your mindset? How did that happen?
The Bible, reading the Word, and remembering what my mom always told me. My mom used to stay up all night praying for me that I would come home not in a body bag, but on my standing up. You know what I mean? I used to think back to those days, and I think, man, my mom's prayers didn't work because the thing actually came to fruition that I would change my life, and I did.
When did you become a Christian?
Oh, I grew up in a Christian school, Christian church, and a Christian family. It's just I grew up without a dad, so I grew up with a lot of animosity inside of me, and I just was taking it out on the streets, doing foolishness. And when I look back at it, I think God gave me grace to be able to be where I'm at today, because He saw that even in my criminal activity lifestyle in my past, because I've been away from that stuff for like years already, but God showed me grace because He knew that while I was on the street or while I was in a prison, I always, never picked on Christians like other inmates do. I never stopped them from going to church because I remembered my mom always prayed over me, and also that I would never hurt women, children, and senior citizens in any of my crimes. And today, you know, the FBI and the state law enforcement that used to chase me, they're all my friends.
So you've turned it
They're all my
around.
friends.
You've come
They're
full
all Trump
circle.
supporters too. Yeah, they're also Trump supporters too. And like I said, man, isn't this amazing? It's unbelievable to me. But nowhere in the world can a man live that long in that type of lifestyle, come out of prison and be where I'm at, other than in America. There is no other place. I don't care what they say. Oh, this place is good and that place is this. No. Nobody can touch America. Once America's light goes off, this world is going to turn super dark, and all this crazy talking and all this craziness that we're seeing these people do to our country, it's going to come to an end. They're not going to be as brazen as they thought they were, because they're going to find out that there's a whole lot of bigger sharks in the ocean than them, you know. And I actually thought to myself this morning that we actually got to pray for these people, because they don't know. They have bondage. They have bondage in their head, in their mind, and in their heart. Because cannot be that you hate Donald Trump that bad. You don't even know Donald Trump. You never met him. He only been in office for 4 years. I remember when he won the election, they was crying and they said, "Oh, we're gonna go. He's gonna take us to war." We have not been to war.
He's taking
He's
his out of
rebuilt the military. Stands with his police force. Loves the people, our country. I never did see one president hug the flag the way this guy hugged the flag and kissed the flag. I said, bruh, this is what we're talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
So Howard, your
This is a
prediction,
real president.
because the last time Hawaii voted for a Republican for president was
Lincoln.
1984.
Wow.
That's a hot minute ago.
Yeah.
That's like
Yes.
36 years ago, right?
Yeah.
No, wait. 36 years ago. So what's your prediction? What's Hawaii? Hang loose, baby. Hang loose. Aloha. Hang loose.
We're all taking our ballots in person. The whole new Republican Party in Hawaii, which is a few small little groups and a couple major big groups from this island. We're all gonna go. I tell you right now, the streets of Honolulu not gonna even have parking on November 3rd. All the big trucks, the nice cars, the regular cars, we will come in droves to drop it off ourselves. We're not gonna mail it in. That's crazy. No way. Somebody died so that we could vote. That's what the Democrat Party is over here. That's what they don't understand. I never did see them stand with the American flag either. You know, they do their campaigning and stuff. I never see the American flag, and now I see the difference. You know.
No, I'd like to.
But some of the polls are saying that in Hawaii, Biden's going to crush Trump. What are you guys going to do in the next 21 days, 22 days to change that narrative?
Liberal, that's right. The media is a liberal media.
I know.
It's the same thing that's going on up there. They're playing with the numbers, but we're going to see. We are going to see, because I think we can beat them. You got in Hawaii. Up until now, people only 35% of Hawaii votes, and I'm positive we got more voters that are going to show up than the Democrats. I have no doubt in my mind, and we're showing up in person. We never mail our ballots in. We're taking them all on foot.
Now, Howard,
Yeah,
I have
good.
3 final questions for you. 3 final questions, rapid fire here for you, okay? The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution reads, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble.
So let's talk about this.
Right.
If you were talking to Joe Biden, you had 30 seconds. He's in front of you, and you can tell him. You can give him the business. You can tell him the truth. You can give the business while telling him the truth. You could say anything you want to the guy. He's in favor of shutting down everything. He's in favor of ongoing shutdowns.
Yes.
He said that if he gets in office, he's talked about this day one. He wants to put in mask mandates nationally. He wants to shut stuff down. What would you say to Joe Biden right now?
I would say Joe Biden. You actually, I gotta hand it to you that you actually have the cojones to still show up and do press conferences, little baby press conferences. But you are no match for Donald Trump. Donald Trump and Mike Pence, bruh, they don't need to debate no more. We went 2 for 2. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's character and moral compass is not even close to the president. I will tell him that a traitor is what you are. Treason is what you committed. Gitmo is where you belong. Just like that.
Oh, okay. Now, again, this is I'm gonna show this video to you real quick, Z. I'll put it on the big screen here.
Right.
Joe Biden was speaking to a group of union workers, what appears to be 4 hours ago, and I want you to
just
see
4
this.
hours ago. Wow.
Watch this, Z. I want you to see this. This is I'll put on the big screen here.
Okay.
Andrew, can you cut to that camera there on the screen there? Maybe you can cut to it. Okay. So this is Joe Biden. He's speaking to a group of union workers somewhere in
And
these
what
United
state?
States.
Okay, somewhere in the United States.
And this is reported on NBC here, and he's there speaking, and it appears as though he's got a crowd of what appears to be 7 to 15 people or something, and then the Trump supporters are listening as well in the background. And here's the audio. Let me cue it up here.
Where's his people? I'm trying okay, so they're
He's hosting
they're ways away, but you can still hear them.
He's hosting a rally. The camera is over there located near Joe Biden. All you can hear is people chanting 4 more years.
Where's his people that are there for the rally? They're in their car. They're in their cars. They're in their cars.
Okay, so I want to ask you this. Let's talk about on a scale of 1 to 10, not your opinion, but the facts in Hawaii. What kind of enthusiasm is there for Joe Biden? Do you see people doing Biden trains? Do you see people doing Biden boats? I mean, what kind of energy is there for Biden in Hawaii?
Oh, between a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah. 10 being the most.
1.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the best. I love you.
So happy, you know.
No.
People are just driving around with giant Trump flags everywhere. Plenty of our kids, our babies, they know his name, Donald Trump. Yeah.
Howard, of all the islands in Hawaii, which one's most excited for Trump? Don't you play games with me.
Don't play games.
Don't
with us.
play games. Which one?
Say that again?
Which island of Hawaii, the great state of Hawaii, which I love. I think I've been to most of the islands. Which island has more per capita Trump supporters? Don't play games with me, Howard.
Ours, Oahu.
Oh,
We're the capital.
he's just owning it. He's just owning it.
Okay.
He's saying,
My final question. We want to get some clarification. You're from Hawaii. Z and I are from Oklahoma, and we want to make sure we
Which are
pronounce
very
your-
similar states, by the way.
Yeah, we have an unbelievable view of the ocean in Oklahoma, and I say unbelievable. I mean, it really is something you can't believe.
You can't believe.
Okay, so just tell us how do we pronounce your last name? We want to get it right. Just coach us through how to pronounce your last name.
Kekahuna.
Kekahuna.
Kekahuna. Yeah,
Kekahuna.
Kekahuna. It means Ecclesiastes in the Bible.
Oh, really?
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome.
I love it. I love it.
I
Well,
love
I'll
that.
tell you what,
I
brother.
may change my last name to Kekahuna.
Kekahuna, you've got sir, you got the mic before we wrap up the show.
Yeah.
You're calling us from Hawaii. We greatly appreciate you supporting our president there in Hawaii, and so I'm going to let you have the last word. What do you want to say to the roughly roughly 500,000 Thrive listeners out there who listen each and every week faithfully to the Thrive Time Show? What do you want to say to them?
I just want to say that I'm so proud of America in general, like as a whole. Those of us that are fighting for our president, because him and his family, I believe, I tell you right now, even though they're going through a lot, they're going through a lot of stuff that people don't even realize. You know what I mean? But I believe God will choose this family on purposely to do this, and God chose him to be this vessel. Because remember, in the Bible it says, "I will use the foolish things of the world to conform the wise." And I used to always think about that, because I used to think, bro, Donald Trump is a playboy, he's a millionaire. But I also knew that he was a money man. He know business. You know what I mean? I said, oh, that's good that he can be the president. Hey, who knew that he was going to become saved too? Hey, I cannot. There's two giant differences between the two candidates and the two vice president candidates as well. I'm so proud of Mike Pence. That was an unbelievably flawless, almost flawless debate.
I agree with that.
And the president's one was killer as well. You got an AK-47 and a shotgun, and they worked it perfectly amongst their opponents, right? So, and they did it without cheating.
Howard,
that's why I respect that.
Howard, I tell you what, if you're out there listening and you're listening right now in Hawaii or anywhere in these great United States, if you're in favor of a late term abortion or any kind of abortion, you need to vote. You need to make sure you vote for Biden. If you're in favor of abortion, he's clearly in favor of that. If you are in favor of,
how can you be a Catholic and be in favor of that? That doesn't.
If you're in favor of national mask mandates, immediately you got to vote Joe Biden. If you're in
Face
favor
diapers.
of removing your ability to peaceably gather, you got to vote Joe Biden. If you're in favor of taking away your Second Amendment rights to bear arms, you got to vote for Joe Biden. And if you're against all those things, you got to vote for Trump. And that's as simple as it is. Doesn't matter about someone's tone. Doesn't matter whether you like them or not. It doesn't matter. What it matters is not what they say, but what they do. You need to look at the candidates and what they do.
I go a step further, Clay.
Sure.
I say this: if a dude worked on your house for 47 years and never got your roof done, it still leaked.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had a roofer come for 47 years.
It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. And when it rained, you still had to put out a pan to catch a drop.
If you have to put out a pan after 47 years of roofing.
Right. Would you hire him for 4 more years to build your roof?
You can't vote him in.
You can't vote him in.
You know what they say.
You can't vote him in.
I mean, I thought the best moment of all the debates was when Trump said, and it's a fact, when he said, I've done more in 47 months than you've done in 47 years.
This just in. Howard.
Drop the mic.
Howard, I appreciate you for being here on the show. One more time, if people want to find you on Instagram, go to Instagram, Patriot_808. That's the great Howard. Right here on the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. Sir, have a great Hawaiian rest of your day, sir.
Yeah, you too, guys. Thank you, guys. God bless you guys. God bless America.
Aloha.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Aloha.
And now, without any further ado, 3,